Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of AFK Discussions. It's your boy Jason, and with me is Phil. What's up, Phil?
What up, man? How are you?
Good, dude. Good, dude. So, guys, go check us out wherever you do social media. Check out Instagram, Facebook, X, wherever you do social media. We're there. Go check us out. Also, if you're listening to us right now, give us a 5-star rating review. Of course, you're listening to us. You're here. I mean, who would I be talking to if you're not listening to us?
That's right.
Yeah. So if you're able to, give us a 5-star review. You should be able to. So just do it. 5-star review. Maybe leave a comment like, hey guys, we love the show. That'd be awesome for us to hear that because it keeps us going. Guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our sponsor. So we have this really cool sponsor called Fat Tack. Okay. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there because I posted on Reddit and those dudes ate me alive on Reddit because they're like, oh, Fat Tack. Why don't you just go to the gym if you're going to work out and then you wouldn't have to have fat tactical gear? Dude, it's not about that. I mean, sometimes people are overweight and they can't lose the weight. Maybe it's a medical condition or whatever. And you know what? Everyone, should have the ability to protect themselves and protect their families. So this company is making it, available to everyone, not just skinny people, but they do have stuff for skinny people too. And, Fat Tack is not only for fat people. I mean, some dudes are like buff, like super muscular, and they can't wear a little skinny dude like vests and stuff. So, they need something bigger. So Fat Tack's got them covered. So check out fattack.com, buy some stuff because, helps us out, helps them. I can't talk, helps us out, helps them out. And, it'll help you out too. Cause who knows if you're home one night, someone breaks in, and, you put on your body armor, it could save your life, save your family's life. So, check them out. Buy some stuff. That's it.
That's right. Support them. They're great guys.
Yeah. Long story short. Yeah. But Phil, dude, how's it going, man? How's your week been?
Good, man. Can't complain. I was just telling you off air. It went by really fast. I don't know where the week went. I go on vacation in like 2 days. So I'm excited about that. And that's basically where my mind's at. Just been going really, really, really busy. Been a guest on a couple different podcasts, promoting not only Exploring with Phil, but AFK Discussions as well. So that's been fun. But when you're on podcasts, it does take up your time. So it's just been busy, man.
Yeah.
Super, super busy. And now I have, it's a good thing, but I have a lot of people reaching out being like, hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. And then, you're just like, holy moly. You're like, basically, I've just been telling people, I'm going to go on a vacation in 2 days. I'll talk to you after I come back from vacation, basically.
Yeah.
Because when I go on vacation, dude, I don't want to do anything. I'm going to film stuff, obviously, but I don't want to do any like work as far as editing or anything like that. I just want to, have a good time and relax, so definitely need that for sure. But yeah, what about you? How was your week?
This week has been a little crazy. See, I had sick kids this week. I'm still, looking for a job. Hopefully hear back this week because I'm kind of in a holding pattern, but I think I may have this job. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them. But so, this week's been kind of good. Actually, speaking of the Fat Tack company, I do designs for them and their t-shirt designs, all of them are designed by me. So, I'm kind of invested in the company also. But yeah, so I did some designs this week for them and, I've been, keeping busy, but, just still hoping to get a regular 9-to-5 job. But yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that'll come in time for sure. My hope is that whatever job that does work out is the job that's for you. There's nothing worse than be like, oh, I got a job. And then getting the job and be like, oh my God. All right. Well,
yeah,
this is awful. This is even worse than not having the job.
Yeah. Well, I don't,
you know what I mean? So
this is definitely not going to be like that.
Yeah.
Because, I went to school for graphic design.
See, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like your dream.
Yeah. In the past, 23 years I've been to photography, which I love photography also, don't get me wrong, but I've always wanted to do graphic design as a profession and I just never had the opportunity before. I did a few things here and there, but it was only like when they needed some extra help, like, oh, hey Jason, can you design this logo for me? Can you do this? And and I do t-shirts and stuff on the side, but it's always been my dream to be like a designer, like officially, So that's something that hopefully is going to come about real soon. But it seems like really cool. I'm going to be doing more than just graphic design. It's going to be like managing social media, possibly even doing a podcast with them. So yeah, it should be really cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, I
Yeah.
hope that works out for sure, because it seems like an opportunity that you really you're into and you're passionate about, and that's all you can really hope for. You know what I mean? So so like yeah, like I said, every I was funny. The sermon today at church was even through bad situations, God can use those bad situations to help you grow. And a lot of people don't see that obviously in the moment when you're going through hard times or hard situations and stuff like that. But the trials of life are what shape you and make you. If you make it out on the other side, which all of us do if we trust in God and not on our own strength and power and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we get on the other side of it, and then you're like, oh my God, I went through all this to make me stronger in this particular area of my life. It's just it's interesting to see that play out in your life, and if you trust God, that is, because it will.
Yeah.
You know,
100%. 100%.
yeah. So that's interesting.
And I believe
Interesting
that,
for sure.
yeah, I 100% believe God has a plan for my life,
That's right. That's right.
because the job I had before, I never would have left ever on my own.
Yeah.
I was comfortable there, and 23 years, it's like home. And, God was like, your time's done here. Here's the door. I'm closing it. And so I'm just waiting for him to open that next door for me to go through. So,
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's just that's part of the another part of the process too, is trusting God to not be like, oh, how come this door is opening? How come that door is opening? When he knows what's on the other side of that door, whereas we don't know. We think we know what we want and what's good for us, or what we know, but we don't know what's on the other side of that door. Only God knows. So sometimes, just because it doesn't seem like things are working out in our favor, like it is, because God knows more than we know. And so sometimes it just doesn't make sense to us.
yeah.
But there's a larger plan. Like I said, God has a larger plan for your life, and he'll work it out, but that's the hardest part, man, is trusting him. Especially like you said, it's you go 1 month, 2 months, you're like, all right, well,
Yeah, definitely.
like I'm trying here, I'm applying, I'm doing everything I can do, but like I need you to give me something, you know what I mean? So and maybe that's part of it too, sometimes it makes you like rely on him and wait, because God's time is not our timing,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
definitely.
you know
And I mean,
so
that's one thing I don't have a lot of patience.
yeah, see,
Um,
that could be something God's trying to show you.
yeah. And I get a
You know
lot
what I
of
mean?
anxiety too. So,
Right.
and I've been struggling with that, but it's, I'm starting to come through the other side and rely more on him than I was. So,
Yeah, and that's awesome, and that's exactly where you want to be. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Relying on him more every single day.
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So, something real quick before I get into it. I was going to
Sure.
let you know, or let the people know. So Phil's going to be on vacation next week, and he's here every other week. I just want to let you know the guest we have coming up next week, which is going to be awesome. I'm very, very excited. If you guys remember, we had Gina on from She Haunts. How long ago was that? Like 3-4 episodes ago, I think, something like
Yeah,
that.
probably. I think so.
Well, she
Something like
had,
that.
yeah, she had some very interesting encounter that happened. I don't want to spoil it right now, but yeah, you guys are going to want to come back and check out that episode because it's going to be incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually jealous that I'm not going to be here for it, but I'm definitely excited to listen to it, because Gina had such an interesting encounter after one of her investigations that rarely happens in this field, but it does happen, and that's as much as I'll say.
yeah,
But super interesting to hear how that all played out, and all that stuff, because I find that stuff, obviously I find all the paranormal interesting, but Gina's an all-star. That's kind of like a play on words, because she has the Paranormal All Stars paranormal group she has as well.
yeah, and
Um,
also they're going to be
yeah,
coming on soon and
yeah,
joining us. I think all of them are going to come on. We're going to have kind of sort of a roundtable discussion about the paranormal in general. So,
cool. I'm
okay,
down.
okay, guys. Get ready for this. I have a story for you. So, this happened, I guess it's been over a week now. Um, it happened last Saturday, and Phil already knows. I told him, and after it happened, but I didn't have permission to talk about it. I wanted to wait to get the all clear to talk about it. So, um, I was out with Merkle Media with Tony and the guys, Tony, Joel, see who else was there. I'm trying trying to remember who all was there. See Ward, yeah, Tony, Joel, Ward, Jack, myself, and Josh. Josh is from Black Diamond Guns and Gear. So we were doing some filming out there, and after or during the filming, Josh and I were in the truck, and we kept hearing frogs. If anyone knows, like, I guess it happens all over the country. I was going to say in the South, but you know, frogs croak and they'll be like in little puddles and stuff going like that sound, right? So we heard that, and then Tony started screaming like, "Dude, did you guys hear that?" And we were like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, you gotta, there's something crazy sound coming from the woods." And we're like, "It's just frogs, dude. Chill. You know, there's just frogs." And so we were sitting there, we finished filming, and we're all outside the trucks, just standing around talking. And all of a sudden, I kid you not, the Predator, that's the only way I can say it, the Predator sound from the movie Predator came out of the woods. And that's what Tony's like, "That's what I heard." And that totally was not a frog. Okay, guys, I'm going to play this clip real quick. This is almost identical to the sound we heard coming from the forest. Okay, I can play it again here. I kid you not. That sound came from the forest. And needless to say, we all kind of freaked out. And it's so funny. If anyone knows Tony Merkel, he just said, "All right, guys, now it's getting good." So he's like, "Let's go." So we, all armed ourselves and proceeded to head in the woods. We hiked maybe half a mile back in these woods. There's like a clear cut road that goes, and we were just hiking on it. We didn't go veer off into the forest. We kind of stayed on this road. We got down there about half a mile, and nothing really was going on. One thing that was very odd that Ward kind of pointed out, he's like, "Do you see the shadows in the forest? And if you like in your peripheral, you kind of see like shadows." And we didn't have flashlights on. We had them on us, but we had them all turned off. We're dark, and it looked like shadows like pacing us in the forest. It was very strange. I'm still kind of dumbfounded by the whole thing, because it's an experience I've never had before. So we all get down there and we stand around, we start talking, and we're like, "Do you want, they were like, "Hey, do you want to go down this path? Do you want to go down this path? What do you want to do?" And so we ended up just turning around and going back, because there was these good old boys cruising around there, and we didn't want them to mess with all the gear. So we decided to turn around and go back. And on the way back, something was thrown at us, and it we couldn't see what it was. We heard it like crash, and we shone the flashlights up, and we're looking in the forest, we're looking around, we didn't see anything, and then we shined the flashlight up, and there's a branch of a tree just like swaying. So something heavy flew high enough and hit a big branch in the tree, and then crashed down close to us. It was intense, man. Then we proceeded back to the trucks. Nothing else happened, but man, I've been thinking about this so much, just replaying in my head. because I don't know what to make of it. Um, I've never had like a Bigfoot experience or any other kind of experience. Um, the area we were in is, I can't release where it was at, but it's known for activity. Um, and it was very, very, I wasn't scared per se, but I was on edge, definitely on edge. And I'm a little out of shape and I was very winded. I was I was in the back of the group the whole time pretty much. So I'm like, if someone's gonna go, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
you know. um so yeah, it was very strange. And I've done some research and I've looked it up. There is a sound that's kind of similar to that. It's not 100% that sound. Um, but deers make like a clicking sound during the, I think it's called the rutting season, is when they're trying to mate. It's to like ward off other male deers, like you're getting close to my territory. They make this clicking sound, but that's only between a certain time of year, and it's not this time of year. So I think it's like
Mm,
August or September through November is the only time they do that.
gotcha.
So, but they say that Sasquatch, I said
Him too.
Sasquatch, Sasquatch, um, mimic other animals. So, I mean, that's a possibility. I was thinking also, um, and I think if I'm not mistaken, there were some owl noises too, which it's owls are out there. I mean, that's a thing, but you know, Sasquatch and stuff are known to make owl sounds. But yeah, man, it was very creepy, and I'm still trying to figure out, in my mind what happened. If I have the opportunity to go back, I will definitely go back. I would not go back by myself, but and like I said, the location is very
Remote.
remote. It's not as remote as you would think, but it's you know, I would ask permission before I went,
Yeah.
because it's a secret location, I should say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, I do have a question.
Yeah.
What is your gut feeling on what threw something at you? Did you guys see the object that was thrown, or you just heard something and saw something crash, or just how did that play out?
So we did not see it we heard it crash.
Yeah,
We did not see what it was. We couldn't find it on the ground. The only thing we saw was the limb in the top of the tree bouncing where
moving.
something hit it, and it was a small limb. And if that, there's no way something could have broke. There was nothing above it, and nothing above it was moving. So that limb couldn't have broken because the tree was still green. It was alive. Um, so I don't know. I really don't. Uh,
Did you hear any sort of anything before the object fell? Like, did you hear some sort of grunt or anything like that before, or did just when it hit the branch and then hit the ground?
the only sound we heard was the branch hitting the ground, and like a sound of something going through the forest. Like you could hear it
Yeah.
hitting things like, and then crashing to the ground.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I didn't hear any gruntings or anything like that. At that point, Josh was in the back, and I was like, "Are you sure you didn't throw something and you're messing with us?" And he swears he didn't do it. Um, Josh was the most heavily armed out of all of us, so he was. I mean, he's not playing around. He takes firearms very seriously. He has a lot of training, and he would not do something to put everyone in danger, like on edge of drawing your weapons. And he wouldn't just throw something to make everybody do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But it's definitely probably one of the weirdest experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, is this
now
before? I can't remember what you were telling me. Is this this is on your way back after you saw those guys
after
and you were walking back?
which guys? So
You
no,
said the good old boys.
the good old boys were in a truck, and they
Oh,
were
okay,
kind of driving around the road where we were parked at. So
gotcha.
yeah, they drove by
Okay.
like 3 or 4 times.
And is this the type of area where a lot of people would be normally?
No,
Okay.
there has been people that go up there, and like we found
Hunt
some
and
beer
stuff.
cans and stuff up there, and there's like people that ride
Interesting.
horses. Um, there's definitely horse tracks and stuff up through there.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah,
Interesting.
it. I don't know. Oh, and one more thing. We did smell skunk, which I mean,
Ooh.
it's
Okay.
it's in the forest. There could be a skunk, but you always
Yeah.
hear of that skunky smell when like a Sasquatch is around or something.
Now, was it more of a skunk or more of like a mildew musk smell?
Um, I I've never smelled a Sasquatch, so I was like,
Okay.
that
But have
smells
you
like
smelled the
skunk.
skunk before?
Yeah, yeah, I have smelled. It
Okay.
smelled like
Did it smell
skunk to
more like a
me.
skunk than or something that wasn't quite a skunk?
It smelled like a skunk, but not as strong as what I've smelled a skunk before. If that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Which, could be many reasons. Could
yeah,
be an
yeah.
older spray or something. Who knows? A few
But it
days
would
old.
come and go though.
Oh,
The
really?
smell, yeah, well, it wasn't constant.
Yeah, that is kind of weird because you
Yeah,
can smell, from what I understand, I thought you can smell a skunk up from a mile away or up to a mile. I don't know
yeah.
if that's
Which
100%
I
true,
mean, you
but
may be able to.
yeah.
Dude,
Um,
I just want to say, I
but
just saw something weird
where?
on your screen. It looked like smoke going in front of your face. I
Really?
don't know if it was a glitch in the camera focusing or whatever, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
swear I saw it like it
Oof,
was
that's
right
creepy.
over your eyebrow. I don't know.
Really?
We'll have to watch back and see. I could be seeing things, but you know,
Yeah, right. That is weird.
yeah,
That
it
would be
could be.
super,
Like I
super
said, it could
weird.
be just a glitch because, like sometimes the feed gets kind of choppy a little bit, so it could be
Yeah.
that. But I don't know.
All right.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely. Comments down below.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I said, it's I want to go back.
Yeah.
That's it. It affected me so much that I want to know what I experienced.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, when you experience something like that, I mean, obviously, I've experienced many different things, voices and things you're like that really make you go, all right, like I can't explain this, and so yeah, like you're definitely your first instinct is definitely to go back because you want to validate that experience, So yeah, that definitely be interesting for sure. I mean, that's a quite the paranormal experience for sure.
yeah,
And it makes you wonder what threw something at you, because it could be in many different things for
yeah.
sure. Um, yeah, definitely interesting.
And it was
So
pretty late at night, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it probably is not a human then.
yeah, it wasn't human because there was no other vehicles there. Um,
I
there
mean,
was
that would require someone to know you guys were there, wait out in the woods for you guys to walk back, and then throw something at the perfect time.
yeah, and this is like I said, this is a secret location.
Yeah,
Um, Tony does not like someone asked, "Hey, can my friend come along?" Which Tony knows the guy too. He's a friend with all of us, and it was like a no, no. It's we got to keep as little people around here as possible because we don't want anyone to know where this is. Um, so yeah, totally, definitely not. No one would have known that we were there. So, but it's like I said. I mean, I'm trying to. It's what March now, so it's getting to be springtime. Um, I'm sure there's bears in the area, but I don't. I mean, bears don't throw sticks.
yeah, right.
And
No,
that clicking sound is not a bear sound. I've done so much research, like clicking sounds. There's like this click beetle, but that wasn't it. There was what else did I look up? Cicadas click.
Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't the sound. Um, like I said, the closest thing I heard was the deer click, and it wasn't identical, but it was similar. Um, I can't make the sound, but I mean, it was like, I mean, like, but I can't make it. It
Yeah.
sounded like the Predator, but
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Right.
not
Right.
exactly like the Predator, but you know,
Yeah. That's creepy, man.
and it
That's
was loud enough to carry. I mean, we were not where we were parked wasn't that close to the wood line. I mean, we had to be maybe I'd say 30, 40 feet from the wood line. And it wasn't on the edge, so it was deep in the forest, but loud enough that we could hear it like it was right in front of us. That's how loud it was.
yeah. That's crazy.
You know.
Did you guys catch on an audio by chance?
No, Jack recorded. He pulled his phone out, but we never caught it.
Gotcha.
I wish we had have.
Yeah. Now, next time you should just record audio the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I'd be interested to see if you caught any EVPs as well.
Now I'm wondering, because we were shooting some film, but because Tony was in the truck while Ward was doing some video with us, and I'm wondering if Ward's camera may have picked it up.
Could be.
That'd be interesting because the first time it happened, we were filming. So
yeah, definitely. I would definitely re-listen to the audio. You never know.
But yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, hell yeah. Quite the experience.
Yeah.
If you go back, you got to let us know what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Because
he's on cloud nine, folks. Man, he doesn't know what.
I don't.
I literally don't looking into his face. He's literally in the paranormal cloud nine of, I don't know what just happened, but I can't wait to go back and see it again or find out what that was, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'm speechless at times.
Yeah, you're literally Elkmont Night 1 aftermath. This is what, literally, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, this is worse than Elkmont, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't scared. I'm just so intrigued. I want to know what it was, you know?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Elkmont scared me more because it felt so heavy on me, you know?
Yeah.
Like both of us.
Yep.
This, I wasn't scared because, I mean, if I had been there, maybe just me and you or me and one other person, I probably would have been more scared. But the amount of gear that we had, I wasn't scared because I was like, yeah, I mean, if something comes out there, it's going to get, it's going to be hurt.
Annihilated. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Yeah, definitely keep us posted because that is pretty wild.
Yeah, it definitely was wild.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm serious, man. I mean, everyone can probably tell I'm reliving it as I'm telling, because I still haven't really, I mean, I told you guys last week before we recorded it, I mentioned it, but I didn't really go through it step by step with you. I mean, okay. I'm going to stop because I'm going to just keep going. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
That's going to be the whole podcast. Me just sitting here.
Yeah.
What could it be? Yeah.
We'll have to make a meme of you just sitting around, just thinking about, and then the caption is that, just like, what was it? What was that?
Like have like Bigfoot like pictures going through my mind. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You sent me something that was very interesting also. Yeah.
So last Friday, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I was out with two other investigators. One Banter with Richie B has a YouTube channel, but he's a Bigfoot guy and does a lot of like more Bigfoot type research, you know, all the kind of typical. So he reached out for me to be on his pod, and then he also wanted to go out to the Huckamuck as well. So he went out with me, and Richie from Shadowside Paranormal out of New Hampshire, he also wanted to go to Huckamuck, so we all went together. Great investigation. We did a little, I would say about half Bigfoot stuff, half ghost stuff. And basically, what I have for you guys is a clip where, in the moment, we're standing underneath one of the power stations, one of the famous power stations that catch a lot of different paranormal activity at. And I hear what sounds like a voice, or definitely I thought was a voice in the moment. Basically, what you see is in front of you. Basically, I would say 30 feet in front of this thing right here, which is basically swamp back in
Okay.
there. And the other guys don't hear it in the moment, and then um, we actually do catch it. So what's interesting, I think, is the first clip you're going to see is from my camera, so my iPhone. So on my iPhone, it's very, very low, and you can barely hear it. But then I have another recording right after it from the iPad, which is a lot clearer, and you can definitely hear the voice. It's just weird the difference 5 feet makes from one device to another. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's basically what you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear first my phone, then an iPad, and then if you want, we could talk about that. And then there's some other stuff too.
Yeah, definitely.
Or did what I hear was like a time slip, something from the past? Did you hear that? Or did what I hear was like a time slip, something from the past? Did you hear that? Okay, you can stop it there.
Okay.
So yeah, just a weird thing in the moment. So in the moment, I hear it, but the other guys didn't hear it at all. Which is weird, not very uncommon, obviously, for the
Yeah.
Huckamuck, but it definitely sounded like a female voice. And yeah, just very, very strange.
So what
Very,
I'm
very
hearing is very breathy almost. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
know your ears are so much better than mine. You pick up on so much stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
what?
exactly what
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's exactly, and also it's from a great distance away too.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's probably, I heard it from, it sounded like it was like 30 feet away, from like in the swamp behind us. So I heard it with my own ears in the moment, and then captured like, yeah, what sounds like a little bit of a whisper. Now what's weird about that moment is like we catch two other EVPs that are louder than that, like right around the same moment. One is very clear, the other one is a little bit harder to hear, but you guys take a listen.
Okay.
I heard you guys playing a flute out here, and I heard drumming on the other side of the swamp. I heard you guys playing a flute out here, and I heard drumming on the other side of the swamp. Is there someone here? Is there someone? Is there someone? Is there someone? Is there someone? Is there someone here? Yeah, the shh part is so super, super clear.
Yeah.
And it's also tough because we're like playing it over the internet.
Yeah.
When you hear it like from the natural clip or whatever. I'll post it on social media so everyone can hear it on their own phone. But yeah, dude, super, super interesting. And that's just like a minute clip, and I only pulled that because he had caught it on his phone. This is how it all started. So he remembered that moment. Richie B with banter with Richie B. He remembered that moment of me saying I heard something. So he went back on his Facebook Live, and it's on his Facebook Live. You can hear like that voice in there, or like kind of like a chirp or whatever. And then, so that's why he was like, "Oh my God, we caught that voice that you were talking about." Blah blah blah. He's like, "I don't know how you heard that." Blah blah blah. And so then that's when I went back and I went through the audio. I was like, "Oh man." So yeah, it's really weird. And speaking of audio, because you're like, "Oh, you can hear him so well, you can find him so well." So I kind of put two and two together when I was like laying in bed the other day, right before I fell asleep. So my dad, when he was in the army, when his job was to listen to radio like frequencies and radio transmissions and try to find like secret messages and messages from the Russians and stuff like in radio signals and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's why I'm so good at listening to audio things, is because my dad did that. I don't know. I just thought of it and I was like, that's probably why I'm pretty good at it, is because he did stuff like that too.
Yeah, probably, man.
Like maybe like a family trait or something. I don't know.
Definitely.
But yes, something I thought of. But yeah, just the Huckamuck is a weird place, man.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
such a weird place.
I can't wait to get
So
up there.
dude, hell yeah. And we had some Bigfoot stuff that day too.
Oh man.
Like kind of just like, things breaking in the swamp and stuff, knocks on trees, just like obviously unexplainable noises in the moment and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what else we caught that day for sure. But just an interesting moment, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah,
So I'm gonna tell you what I heard the second time, because
Sure.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was kind of looking at you on this screen and not the screen where I was playing the video. So I turned and looked, and you had put, I can't remember what the caption was you put.
To love or
To
something.
love, yeah. But I heard something totally different, and then I looked and I saw to love. So I swear it said, I heard help. It was like,
It could
help,
be.
help.
Yeah. Yeah, it
You
could
know,
be.
like that.
It definitely could be.
Yeah.
It definitely could be. It was a whisper, so like sometimes those whispers are really hard to make out. All you know is there's a voice there for sure.
Yeah.
But dude, you definitely could be right about that.
Yeah.
Because I thought the first EVP was something like "save me" or something like calling out for help.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: is this an actual real person, or is this like a Puckwudgie kind of a thing, where part of their legend is to like lure you out, and if someone's asking or yelling out for help in the swamp, your natural reaction was to go out there and help them.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in mind, or something I thought of, because you never really know.
Yeah. You never
Really.
know.
Yeah, especially with the Huckamuck, dude.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I mean, that's, all those EVPs and stuff you catch, and it's just awesome. I want to get one of those digital recorders.
Yeah,
just because,
like the one Gina has one, like
Okay.
the ones that like the tape ones, or like I guess digital recorder has
Yeah.
doesn't have a tape, but it has like yeah. She has one, like one of the more famous ones that a lot of people catch EVPs on. I can't remember. It's like a Panasonic maybe, or something. I can't remember the name of it, but she has a pretty decent one. She caught that EVP of the haunted doll that when she was saying prayers, I think it was, the doll, I mean, just made this ungodly noise. So I didn't really like the prayers too much. So that
Yeah.
was probably one of the most creepy EVPs I've ever heard for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, speaking of EVPs and stuff, I'm going to get into our this is kind of like a grab bag episode. So, I hope you guys enjoy it, because I really love episodes like this where we just kind of talk. And, I mean, because you're getting our personal experiences. This stuff really happened. We're not making up stories. This is like legit things that actually happened to us. But now we're going to transition into our main topic. And it's something that's near and dear to my heart because I have kids. And it is, do you think that kids are more sensitive to the paranormal, to spirits? Can they see them when adults can't? What are your thoughts on that, man?
I think they're definitely more sensitive, at the very least, more sensitive to ghost spirits, apparitions, paranormal activity in general. Now, whether or not every child could see ghosts, I'm not 100% sure about that.
Mhm.
But at the very least, they could probably hear ghosts, or in some cases see ghosts more than an adult can. I mean, some people say that it's the like childhood wonder and stuff like that, or so at a certain age you become more like aware or self-aware and stuff like that, so maybe
Mhm.
that's part of it. It's definitely interesting for sure, but to answer your question, yeah, I think so for sure. What about you?
100%. I think kids are more sensitive than we are. I think it has something to do with not being desensitized as you get older, and you're told, hey, these things aren't real, so you start ignoring the things. Oh, that's just a shadow, that's just this or that, that you just learn to desensitize yourself, and oh, it's not real. It's the same thing as there was, I can't remember who was on the show here. It's been a while back. Or maybe it was on Tony's show. I can't remember. But yeah, that's right. So one of my friends was on Tony's show, and I was on there with him, and we were talking about this. So back in like the 1300s, whatever, whenever the Spanish were coming to Mexico and the Aztecs saw the ships, they had never seen anything like that, so they couldn't process it. So they were like, oh, like the medicine man who knew about spirits and, whatever, he was trained in that. He could see the ships because he was more open to the paranormal and something stuff that's not normal to see. But the rest of the tribe's like, we don't see anything. And then he's like, it's right there. So that's like one of the, I wouldn't say documented cases, but one of the, I guess, legends, or I don't know how you would categorize that, because I don't know if anyone actually ever talked to this guy and, wrote it down or whatever. But that's one of the things, kids, they can see it because they believe it. And when you get older and you don't believe it, it's like, you just brush over it. It's not there. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it's obviously different for everybody, but I mean, just for me, I had paranormal experiences when I was a kid, several of them. So yeah, I mean, it was true for me for sure.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of kids probably had similar experiences as well, but a lot of them were just afraid to say.
Yeah.
And till it became a larger problem. I mean, even when you look at, I mean, obviously that's in the most rare cases, of course, but even like a lot of those haunting type shows and stuff where families go through like a lot of turmoil and they have to like leave their house and all this, those kind of situations. I mean, they are rare, but it does happen on occasion. Usually the family, doesn't believe their child, and that kind of like leads to, like the problem not being solved until like much later, because they just think their kids, schizophrenic or something, or they're just making it up, oh, their imaginary friend did it. And, that whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that can definitely be, as a kid, like being told if something did happen to you, right?
Yeah.
And if your parent told you, oh, that didn't happen, I mean, what would you do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's got to be absolutely devastating for a child. So, some kids' brains may just naturally block it out, an event like that, just because they don't have any other recourse to deal with it.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it's interesting, definitely, for sure.
Yeah,
Makes you wonder. It makes you want to do like a poll where that's what we should do.
Yeah.
We should do a poll where we ask everyone, like, did you have a paranormal experience as a child?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And just see what people say, and just to get like an idea of like percentages, because I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, I would too.
If somebody even has something that they're like, I don't know if it's paranormal or not, but this weird thing happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd be
definitely.
interested. Did you have something? What about you? Did you have some sort of paranormal experience as a kid?
Oh yeah. Gosh, man.
Yeah. See, okay, yeah. So I think we're both in the same boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
I had a lot of paranormal experiences as a kid. So
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know. Have I told you about those? I mean,
I think some of them.
Okay.
I think some of them, but I don't know about all of them. But
guys, if you want to listen to it, go back to episode, I think, like 3, and I talk about some of those. So I didn't want to reiterate it again. If people's already heard it, I don't want to say it over and over and over again. But yeah, so yeah, I had some crazy experiences. But yeah, man, it's weird. My kids have experienced some things too. So I'll get into that in 1 second. So what brought this up is I was on TikTok and I saw this TikTok from I'll tell you his name here in a minute, because it's going to come up on the screen. But go check out his TikTok, because he does videos like this all the time. But I'm going to play this real quick. And guys, if you're listening on the audio version of this, go to YouTube and watch this, because you need to see it. Okay. Share screen. There we go. All right, guys. So look at this. This is our Instagram. If you don't follow us, go follow us, and you'll see all this cool stuff. It's mainly my face, but yeah. So go follow us. But here we go. Oh, it's not playing. I got to turn the audio on.
You got it.
Epic fail, guys. One more time.
Let's try this again.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, have you guys seen this video yet? Man, it's creepy.
Who are you saying goodnight to? Who? Jagger, there's no one up there.
It's up there.
Show me.
It's up there. Up there.
Jagger, there's no one up there. He's been talking to that vent and then he was blowing it kisses. And I'm creeped out now. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm so creeped out right now.
Yeah, guys. So that's
creepy.
That's super
definitely creepy.
Yeah.
So I did a one on very similar real fake on one similar to that, where a little girl's in the kitchen. You might have seen this one too, where she has something in her hand. I don't remember what it was, like a pan or something. And it looks like she's like someone's trying to grab the pan out of her hand or something, whatever it is, out of her hand. And it looks like she's actually getting pulled and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely compelling as well. Yeah. And that goes right along with what we were talking about, especially when you consider how many little kids have imaginary friends.
Yes.
And that kind of angle, and then that kind of, you get into sort of that weird area where this kid's looking up at the vent, or my imaginary friend told me to do this bad thing, or that kind of stuff where you're like, oof. So that's definitely kind of weird for sure. Did you have an imaginary friend?
I did not have an imaginary friend. My wife did though. And my kids didn't have an imaginary friend. But they did. Well, mainly my son has seen things. So.
Yeah. I think I might have had an imaginary friend, but not like a long-term imaginary friend or anything that was real. Just something I just, kind of said a few times and, kind of didn't really, go very far with it or whatever. But yeah, definitely weird and something interesting to think about for sure. Because it makes you wonder, that whole imaginary friend thing.
Yeah, it does 100%. Because do you remember that? Well, real quick. So shout out to Horror Talk 666. So there it is.
Quite the shout out.
Yeah. So I think there's an underscore after that too. So if you want more content like that, go check out his TikTok because, he deserves credit. He put the video together. So, yeah. It's so weird because there was this movie, Drop Dead Fred. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
The girl had the imaginary friend. That, if you think about a spirit, attaching itself to someone, that's totally is like that,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, it makes you wonder. So if anyone's listening out there that has children and they have an imaginary friend, we'd like to have that imaginary friend on. Please reach out. I'd like to have that as a guest because I feel like that could be groundbreaking.
Yeah. But guys, so this is what happened with my family. So, my son, to preface this, my father's passed away now, but he was alive at the time. And, my wife's, father is passed away, and he was already passed at the time. And, but he passed, in another state, not where we live. And my son never met him. So my son was probably 3 or 4 at the time. And, he's standing we have like a back door that's glass. He's standing there and just waving at the back door and just staring. And we're like, what are you doing? What? Who are you waving at? He's like, my grandfather's in the backyard. And we're like, what? Yeah, he's right there. He's walking through the backyard. And he'd wave. And I was like, that's weird, But one thing that is weird also is my son's adopted. So I don't know what his family hit. Maybe his biological grandfather was visiting. I don't know if he was alive or dead, but that makes you wonder. Or he could just be seeing a creepy old ghost in the backyard.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's my grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Which,
well, hopefully it's door number 1.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know if that was very weird.
And it was just a one-time thing?
Yeah, that was just a one-time thing. But he sees things or there's something going on that he's not telling us because he gets scared at night. He's obviously older now. But he will still like get scared and come and get in bed like at 3 or 4 in the morning between my wife and I. And my wife's like, no, you need to stop. You need to stop him from coming in here, take him back to bed. But I'm like, I remember when I was a kid going through stuff like this, and I think I was about the same age. My father would not let me, get into bed with them at all, And I remember how terrified I was that I would go and open the door as quietly as possible and curl up at the end of the bed, like in the floor, just so I'd be in the same room as them. And I remember even times I would just sleep outside their door because I was so terrified. And I don't want to put my son through that. I want him to know that, that he's safe. I'm there for him. I'm going to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I don't know. He said something to me one time that really, really really freaked me out. We were at Dollywood Amusement Park, and this is when AFK first started. It was during Halloween, and I was doing this like real, and I was like, blah blah blah, videoing him, and I said, Rory, what scares you? And he's like, well, werewolves scare me. When I go upstairs in the middle of the night and there's a lady in white with a knife standing in her kitchen, that scares me a lot. I'm like, what? What? Wait, I turned, I stopped filming. I was like, what? I mean, really? Did you see that? And he's like, and kid thing, he just kind of walked off and, let's go ride another ride, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so specific, he doesn't watch horror movies at all. The no Ring or,
Mm-hmm.
what was the other one? June. Yeah. The other Ring, like girl with the black hair.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what, he was describing,
Right.
standing in her kitchen with a knife. So it's not like I said, it not something he would have seen on TV, especially this
Right.
was a few years ago. He was way younger. So that
Yeah.
really freaked me out, especially because we found out after we moved in here that a lady had passed away in her house. She had an aneurysm and passed away. So
Oh, poor
kind of,
thing.
yeah. So I don't know. Definitely creepy. Definitely.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if he, certain people can just see those kind of things
Yeah.
or and he might just be one of those people maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, maybe through some prayer and protection and stuff, if that stuff happens to him, I think that would be the route that, could definitely protect him. And then it'd probably make him more comfortable
Yeah.
to know that he has full control of the situation.
Yeah. But definitely,
because God's in control,
Oh yeah. Definitely our house has calmed down because remember,
yeah, the whistle.
Yeah, the whistle and everything's gone, which
Mhm.
was here at that time. I think I'm pretty
Right.
sure.
Okay, there you go.
So, yeah. But he still gets scared tonight. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
Well, keep me posted on that because
Yeah.
that's something you don't want for sure.
Yeah. Now my daughters haven't seen anything. But my one daughter says she's heard footsteps in her attic. And that's something my wife has heard too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like actual footsteps, or do
Like
they think
actual
it's just a
footsteps.
house setting?
No, actual footsteps.
Interesting.
The house is selling. It's been settling for 80 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something. I haven't heard it. But yeah. One night, this was recently actually, my wife said she heard footsteps upstairs and my cat was freaking out, like trying to figure out what was going on. So he had, he heard it too. But yeah, man.
Yeah, that's weird. If it keeps on happening, you should put a camera or like a recorder up there.
Yeah.
and just to capture the footsteps. Nothing else, but
Yeah. I
just to,
did.
just to see if it's like, who knows? It could be squirrels or something
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Could be animals, and that's something you don't want either.
Yeah.
God, almost worse than the ghosts.
Yeah. We do have some Ring cameras in our
Yep.
house, just for like safety and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and they haven't picked up anything. But I mean, also they're kind of there for ghosts too.
Yeah, right.
You
No,
know?
that's good. And that's a good thing then.
Yeah. And you know, they
Yeah.
just come on with motion. Um,
Right.
but it's kind of a funny story. So we have one in the kitchen because my daughter kept lying and stealing food out of the fridge at night. And
Nice.
so now she won't go in there because of the camera. She won't steal food. I mean, it's not
Nice.
stealing food. I mean, it's her food, you know, but
Yeah. But she's just
at like 3 a.m, going in there and getting all the, like a whole carton of ice cream and eating it, you know, that's not okay, you know?
Yeah. No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
So yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah. Which, I mean, gosh, thank goodness for modern technology. You know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Seriously.
Who's eating all the ice cream? No.
It's the ghost. It's the footsteps. Someone's in the attic.
Yeah. But yeah. So, man, but I mean, there's so many different weird situations with kids that I've heard about, like the whole thing with like reincarnation in kids. There's that one instance, I can't remember the kid's name, but he remember being a World War II fighter
Yeah.
pilot.
Yep.
And he saw a picture and he could like name the people in the photo. And he's like, that's me. I remember doing this. I was there for that picture. And that's Bobby and Jim Bob and Rory Jr. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what to make heads or tails of that whatsoever. I
Yeah.
don't understand that at all. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of
Because
those-
yeah, you do see stories like that.
Yeah.
They're very strange for sure. Especially when they have like a lot of the more detail that they have. The creepier it is for sure.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, you could be like, oh well, this kid could just have an overactive imagination. He
Yeah.
saw a movie, he saw, whatever, and then he just that kind of a thing. But to have so many details like that, pinpointed is very, very strange for sure.
and
It
without
makes
knowing,
Yeah.
knowing, the context or anybody
Yeah.
in the photo,
right. And then
previously.
you're like, how does that? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know. It's very, very strange, but weird.
Yeah. Because I mean, I personally don't believe in reincarnation. But I don't, when you see things like that, it makes you wonder.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you said, yeah. From a Christian point of view, there's no mention of that in the Bible, so it's
No.
very difficult. You're like, oh, well, I don't know how that could be possible, but yeah. But like you said, but then you see stories like that, and you're like, well, what's going on there?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's very, very strange,
it is.
to say the least. I mean, not very common, obviously, but it does happen on occasion. I feel like not as much as it used to, but on occasion, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, hell yeah. I don't know.
On occasion.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to find someone that says they've been reincarnated.
Dude, if you have been reincarnated, contact
what I'm saying.
AFK Discussions. AFK
We want to
Discussions.
hear. We want to
Gmail.
hear your story. We want to know all the details. We're going to cross reference it. No, I'm kidding.
But no, seriously, guys, I want to. If you seriously feel like you've been reincarnated and you've had the experiences, I mean, we would love to have you on the show and talk to you. That would be really cool.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure. I've never talked to anyone that says I don't think that. So that would be interesting to hear their story for sure,
Yeah, definitely.
or multiple stories, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely multiple stories. Stories from now and stories from
Another life.
1825.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Man,
Awesome.
speaking of which, do you watch the Oak Island show at all?
I used to watch all the
I
time.
think we talked about this before.
I'm not caught up, but I love the show. But yeah,
Yeah,
I heard they're making some
18-something.
good. They're good making some
Dude.
good waves this year.
Man, I've been watching that show since the beginning, and this is the first year I'm like, dude, maybe this is the year. Maybe it is.
Yeah. No,
It's
they've
getting
come a
close.
long way.
Yeah.
they have come a long way, and good for them for sticking it out. I mean, they've caught a lot of evidence there that something was happening there before they thought things were happening there at the very
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting about, not necessarily about Oak Island, but about my DNA is my DNA has on Ancestry, it'll like circle around areas where your family has been. And there is a circle that goes around the Nova Scotia area and
Mhm.
more specifically the Oak Island area,
Oh,
a
wow.
part of my DNA. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know, makes you wonder. You never
Yeah.
know. Maybe I have some ancestry that, knows a little thing or two about Oak Island, and maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know.
Maybe. Dude, I would
Maybe
love
the
to get those guys
maybe
on. Seriously.
yes.
That would be incredible. I mean, it doesn't even have to be the Laginas. It could be
Yeah.
like, an adjacent. It could be Billy, the guy that operates the crane.
Yeah,
know?
right.
I mean, I would like to talk to the guys and just see, I want to know if there's any ghosts up there or if they've encountered any spirits or something. Cause it seems like, with that curse, quote unquote, that something, they, especially disturbing the ground and,
Yeah, they're digging all the
yeah,
time.
digging all the time. Seems like something would happen up there,
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I would, that's what I think about any place and talk about anything. We were talking about the Bigfoot story. I was literally thinking to myself, I wonder if what would happen if I brought my spirit box there and if I'd catch ghost things. So yeah, dude, I bet we would.
Yeah.
I bet we would.
Dude, so this talking about Oak Island just reminded me. So there's another show I watch a lot and I really like. It's called Blind Frog Ranch. Have you heard of Blind Frog Ranch?
No.
Okay, so Blind Frog Ranch is adjacent to Skinwalker Ranch. It's not adjacent. It's in the same vicinity of I think it's Utah, the Uinta Basin area.
Yeah. Yep. New Mexico, Utah area.
Yeah, so it's right there, and they're digging, looking for gold and stuff, and they've found some really crazy artifacts, and it's very, very, very interesting stuff. This goes on there, and they also have some supernatural things that happen. But this, so Dwayne Ollinger, the owner of Blind Frog, he followed us on Instagram. So that makes me think
that's awesome.
he could be listening to the show right now. So Dwayne, I message you and I ask you to come on the podcast, and you send me a link to a YouTube video. But dude, I would love to get you on here, dude. I would love to talk to you about Blind Frog because I'm so interested in that. And
Yeah,
Phil,
hell
you
yeah.
need to go watch it, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll have to
Seriously.
check it out. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
add it to
real
my
good.
list of shows to watch.
Yeah. But anyways,
Awesome.
I just thought I would shout you out, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. If you're listening, please message us back. We'd love to have you on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did message back. He sent me a link to watch like a YouTube thing where he like tells the real story behind Blind Frog Ranch. But,
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
But anyways, man, I mean, I think we pretty much hit everything tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think we did a pretty good job. No, it was for a hodgepodge episode, not bad at all.
Yeah, definitely. I
bad at
mean,
all.
I love these episodes though. It's good to just, sit down and just chit chat and just, not really have a plan and just talk. Because
Yeah.
I mean, there's so little, there's so many shows that, they outline everything down to the T and it gets
Yeah.
so boring. But when you can just have real, genuine conversation with a friend, I think that's so much more interesting than just listening to someone read a script,
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And then things come up that we didn't plan on talking about and that kind of stuff. And then yeah, it's just more of a natural conversation for
Yeah.
sure between two friends.
Which is that's the whole purpose. I started this.
Yeah.
It's a discussion. It's not. It's supposed to just be two buddies talking. So
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, hell yeah, we're getting into our stride for sure. I'm gonna be off 1 week, but we got Gina coming back next week. That's gonna be a sick episode. So
yeah,
definitely check out that. And then when we come back, I feel like we have somebody.
Is it Kevin?
It might be Kevin. I think we have someone.
If you
but I
don't
just-
move that car,
Yeah.
I don't have that clip.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Big shout out to Kevin. He loved that clip. because I posted it and sent it to him and stuff like that. We were supposed to hang out this past Saturday, but we got rained out, so we didn't end up filming together. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get to filming with each other very soon. Cool. So yeah, we'll have to have Kevin on for sure. But I feel like it's someone, I just don't remember who. But whoever it is, I'm sure it'll be a great guest. It is like 2 weeks from now. So
yeah.
But hell yeah, another great episode.
Yeah, man, another one in the books. Guys,
that's right.
So Phil, tell them where they can find you, dude.
Oh, you guys can find me at Exploring with Phil. That's Phil with 2 L's, pretty much everywhere. New video this week. The one I previewed last week, which is the Nathan Seeley's lumber mill that was run by satanic imps. And that is the legend and kind of the myth. Just a kind of a wild story. But yeah, so caught definitely some interesting evidence in that video. I think the most interesting thing, just off the top of my head, is we got an EVP that said, I think it says something to the effect of like tunnel below, or there's a tunnel underneath, or something like that, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is kind of cool and interesting for sure, amongst other stuff, kind of pointing to there being some mystical things around with this property. Cool. And maybe it wasn't run by satanic imps, but there was definitely something mystical and strange happening on these lands for sure.
Yeah. Hey, hang on 1 second. I'm not guaranteeing, but let's see. Rory, you want to talk about any weird things you've seen in the house, like ghosts, or have you seen any ghosts or anything? My son came in here, so I'm trying to see if he'll talk about it. Because we're talking about kids who see ghosts and stuff. Have you ever seen anything weird? Do you remember? You want to talk about it real quick? No? Come on, just come over here and tell me. Well, can you come tell me on here? You don't want to.
That's all right.
Be on the camera. You can just talk loud. No. Okay. We're gonna have to do this another time, because if they can't hear you, I can't like do dead air. So
yeah, no worries. Just have them record it, and then we'll post it after.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that.
That way it's more comfortable for him, and he can tell his story the way he wants.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the air.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
The spotlight.
Yeah. Are you sure? Come on, he plays Fortnite, and he'll talk to like people, like he'll smack talk people around the world. But he won't come on here and talk.
Yeah, that I believe.
He's worried about his hair. He's like, my hair's messed up. I don't want to.
Well, no, that I get. He's in that middle school range,
Yeah. He's running out. I don't know.
Image is everything.
Here, put your hat on. You can sit on my lap and talk to him. Come on. He's making a face. He'll do that, but he won't talk.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, he's all set.
Yeah, he won't do it. All right, guys, I tried. But yeah, so thanks again for checking out AFK Discussions. And if you guys don't care, like, subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and also go to We Review social media and check us out, and look at this guy right here. So see, he wants to be silly, but he doesn't want to be serious on the camera.
Yeah, that's how it goes. He's a comedian.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.
Rip through the ages.